Oh, welcome to how we play here, McQueen. Into the warning, this video contains excessive use of a rubber chicken, and the toys you see in this video were paid for with my own money. This is a toy review, this is not a toy ad. Remember Kinetic Sand, that really awesome toy that I liked and my children liked, although I thought it was a bit ritzy in price? Guess what? There's a new one called Kinetic Rock. It's by the same people, I hope. There's a Rocks there, and we also bought the playset as well. There we go, that's the fun of Kinetic Sand. Never played with it like that. It's like a landslide sand at the moment. My son was very excited to see this Kinetic Rock because he loves Kinetic Sand, and while we're at the shops where we found the Kinetic Rock, I found this very important Lightning McQueen here. Normally I talk about the stores I go to, but I've had a major run-in with this store, so I don't talk about them anymore. I think that's the best thing to do. A spectacular McQueen. If you see this one, grab it and do not unbox it like I'm about to.
Dad, do you need this?
Of course I do. Come here, my lovely. If I'm lucky, I'll get McQueen out with the chicken. Looks like he's done it.
Oh my!
McQueen is free. This is a totally spectacular Lightning McQueen. Amazingly spectacular. Do not let this sit on the pegs if you see it. I'm sure the crazy toy collectors are going to run like mad to get this one. And because I've done a study about these new Lightning McQueens from Cars 3, they have changed the format of McQueen, is the best way I could say it. And if you look for a squared off area at the back here is an indicator you're dealing with a different McQueen. Also, the wheel distance between the back and the front, that is the distance where my thumb is versus that, is different on these new McQueens, and it's a total mystery why that's happened. Very nice Disney Cars McQueen. This one really nice, and we'll let it drive away. We'll get into the Kinetic Rock. Okay, which one are we going to open first?
Maybe the playset.
The playset? Personally, I would have opened up one of the smaller rocks, but we're going to open up this Kinetic Rock playset. You may need this.
No, don't, Daddy, because the box is part of the playset.
Oh, okay. Well, open it very carefully.
Just for truths. There.
Oh, okay.
We're
just seeing the back of the box here. Yes, you open up the box and it becomes part of the toy. The son's going to carefully open it up here. I will talk about price possibly at the end of the video. There's a mystery bit of cardboard there we want to get rid of. Quick smart. Oh, okay. So what have we got in here? We've got like a quarry. The best way I could describe it, isn't it? It's a quarry. We've got that. Okay, we've got Plastic Fantastic. Looks like we're going to build that vehicle up. There's some parts there as well. We've got like...
Oh, there's the person. It looks like Lego. That person looks like Lego.
It does, yeah. We'll be interested to see the keys and Lego. And we've got some of the rock there. Wow, it's one of these things you want to touch it. You keep wanting to play with it.
I got it.
The son is just opening up the truck there, and he'll put that together. And I've got a sneaky suspicion this part here goes into that part of the box there.
Hi.
Okay, we've got a bit of a digger thing talking there, and it looks like it's child's play to put that truck together.
Okay, nearly finished.
Nearly finished there, good boy. One thing I'll say about Kinetic Sand before we get into the rock is this has been one of the best things we brought into the house. Both my son and my daughter have loved this toy. I used to try to keep them all separate colours, but I gave up on that. There's some of the goldy and silvery bits in there, metallic versions of it. It has not lost its goodness, and we've had that for a long time, so it's an excellent toy. My son is just putting a minifigure together, and he'll give me his best appraisal there. In fact, we had Moon Sand, I think it was, the white one, and it actually all fell apart. It lost its goodness as the man's getting put together. There is a set of constructions here, but because we're men, we don't look at those. You can work out how to build up the truck there, but it's very simple. It shows how to put the playset together. Yep, we're men, so out the door with them. We've got the Kinetic Rock. I nearly said sand there. You want to place it in here and give me your first thoughts of this. Oh, look at that. It moves like Kinetic Sand, doesn't it? I think it's important to note this substance here is made in Sweden, but I think you'll find the plasticky bits and everything else come from Mexico. So I'm just letting my son play with this kinetic rock here and just see what he says about that. What can you say about that? Your words.
I know it's made of real rock because when I feel it, I know it's real rock just straight away. Like, straight away. Just straight away, real rock. Real rock. And...
Oh, we're going to try and put it through the crusher here, the rock crusher, which looks like something which would make minced meat. The best way to describe it to mummies. How's it going?
Wait.
He's having a bit of trouble there. Put more in, that might be the way to really make it go wonky. Is anything coming out that end? Yeah. Are we going in the right direction?
No, try the other way.
Yeah, that might... it often helps. And, keep going. Oh, it's making crunching sounds, but we've got to see this. I'm not going to do any fancy edits for this. Maybe turn it a little bit slower might help. Yeah, and we're trying to push material on the top. Well, I'm not really doing it for us. I think the secret to these is don't mince your fingers up there. Put plenty of stuff in here. Is there a thing to push it down with? Isn't this... What's that? Maybe it can helps if you use that at the top, even though you're probably not meant to push it down and turn it. Okay, we've now got it so we're pushing down to the top of that tool inside, and we're getting the rock to come out possibly how it should work. Yeah, don't put your fingers down there. That's my biggest warning to you. Yeah, we've had Play-Doh-y things like that.
Okay, it's made a shape.
It made a shape?
Yeah, look, see?
Oh, right, okay. Well, there you go, it's made a shape. Maybe we should read... I should have read the constructions before we got into that thing, hey? But some maniac screwed them up. We've just moved the rock crusher aside and now we're playing with the... there you go. Okay, yeah. Didn't expect that, but that's the way children play, and we're going to pick up some of this kinetic rock. Almost said sand again, and we're going to unload it there. Keep going. I want to see how this toy works and if it's a bit naffed or not. We need to see that. Oh, yeah. Excavator's almost got character, isn't it? You know what's reminding me of? Dino Trucks. Dino Trucks would love to play in this environment here. You know your Dino Trucks, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like those mining things which are dinosaurs. Yes, I've seen other toys use the box as part of the play set. And my son's moved the rock down to the quarry area, if that makes any sense. And it looks like he's going to drag it up here and dump it somewhere.
Wait, graveyard.
Oh. Why has it become a graveyard? Oh. What's going on? Well, there you go. It's now become a zombie graveyard set. Oh, now it's just been picked up and dragged over the other pile. Actually, before you totally kill that little minifigure off, I want to make a comparison of him to a Lego minifigure. While my son is busy in the background with the kinetic rock playing on that playset, that's the minifigure construction worker that came with the playset. It's very Lego-esque in a sense, but then again it's not. It reminds me of another brick company, and the name has just elapsed me at the moment. It will key into Lego brick. I have got a Lego brick here, but it's a little bit loose fitting would be the best way I could say it. Yes, you can hopefully see that. It doesn't really key in that well. And if I put a Lego minifigure next to this one here, what is that gun doing on that guy there? That's a bit nasty, isn't it? Let me just key that minifigure in there. And if I drag the camera up slowly, you can see the size difference between those two minifigures there. The kinetic rock minifigure is slightly taller than a standard Lego minifigure. I know you're going to ask, does that kinetic rock figure hold a Lego gun? Oh yes, he does. Now he's really ready for work. So while I've been playing with the minifigures, and we should de-weaponize him because that's nasty to have guns at work, isn't it? I'll put him back in his playset where he belongs, and my son has been very industrious indeed.
Now for the rocks.
Yes, I think it is now time to take a look at these rocks, and I think the first thing we thought of when we saw these was we thought they'd work well with the Minecraft minifigure series because it's all about rocks and mining, isn't it? There was this silvery one, as I'll call it. And there's like a lava one, as I'm calling it. I don't know whether it's got a real name or anything. And of course, the gold one, which I think looks very spiffo. Well, there's something you don't see every day on YouTube, an aircraft carrier going through kinetic rock, but that's the way children play. And what we should do is look at the little features of these much smaller sets, as I call it. It says you can find hidden treasure, blah blah blah. It's saying it's made of real rock, and there was a very curious thing I thought on the back here. There's a big read there, but it talks about that it's for indoor dry location use only, which I thought was a tad curious. And there's a nice picture there of the hidden treasures that you'll find, hopefully. Well, the playset, my son certainly enjoyed it. It's got a very nice feel, like kinetic sand, although it's a very different feel. I'll just push this aside for a second, and we'll get into the rocks. You like your old treasure hunt toys things, don't you?
Yeah, I just love.
We've just had like cheap Chinesey ones. There we go.
Too
it's come
easy.
out there. Yeah,
Plus,
okay.
it's not even wrapped except that bit.
Yeah, it has been ripped a bit. Okay, open it up on this because I want to see what comes out the side.
I bet the rock is lead.
Oh, that's how much. Ooh.
Oh, already.
Yeah, you got some treasure there. Oh, hang on. What's that hollow in there? What's going on there? Oh, okay. It's the shape of that. Okay. Wow, it's very spangly, isn't it? It looks nice. And we're going to try and find our treasure. I'm just getting nice and close here. You can see there's like, it looks like spider web. See it there? If you pull it, you can see it's sort of, yeah, it's very strange looking, isn't it? You can see more on the gold than the one which is in that play set. Are we finding more treasure? That's what we're meant to be doing.
Wait a second.
Oh, what is it? You've got it yet? We've found that one piece there and we're looking for more treasure.
I think you can only get one treasure each pack.
Oh, you're joking me, aren't you? Oh, come on. Please check carefully. There's only one per pack. Oh, come on. Are you certain there's only one treasure in there?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the picture on the back of the box. It says a treasure inside A would imply one, doesn't it? And there's a picture of multiple treasures. What does my audience think? Reading the contents, it says we get 6 ounces of kinetic rock. Yes, I agree with that. It says 1 collectible accessory. Boo! At least you could have put maybe 2 or 3 in. Come on, guys. And 1 reusable container. Maybe the best thing to do is ask my son, were you expecting to find more treasure in that toy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so was I, actually.
Yeah, I wanted the golden pickaxe, but I didn't get it. I just got a stop sign.
Yeah. We've certainly had a very good look through that. There's nothing in there apart from that golden stop sign. And just to make my point here, recently, and I never did a review on it, we just bought a little minerals, digging for minerals kit. And in that, and it was a very cheap thing, we got those multiple things out of that kit. There you go. Maybe my son can add those into this toy to actually make it, half decent. Yeah, I'm sorry to be grumpy, but man, how simple would it be to add a couple of small little plasticky things in this to make it even more awesome? I'm sorry to sound like that, but that's the way I see it. So we're packing the gold in there with some minerals and the one little bit of treasure we found. And now we're going to tip it up, aren't we? Yes.
Right.
Pack it in, that's it. And we should have something special here. Ta-da! That looks very, very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. You can give it the golden punch. And you can play with your Lego and minifigures in there. Plus your... I think it's very much that it's a Minecraft minifigures. To me, it's more that feel. There.
Right here. Hey, Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with you?
No.
There you go. That's how you play. The son's making another very special mould there. And we are checking to see if that... man holds that golden stop sign, and sure enough he does. Another special mould there. There are Minecraft figures in this one. Let's see how it looks. Oh, that looks crazy actually, very crazy. One thing I will say about this is it's spectacular in its goldness. I like the way it makes those weird spider webs as you pull it apart as well. As for a curious fun thing to play with, and I'm sure it's going to last as long as kinetic sand. I like it. I don't like the fact we only had one little treasure in there, and I dare say if we open up this and this, we're going to find, well, one treasure in each. Yeah, we're just tidying it up and we'll open up another one. I like to see this red one open next because I think that metallic McQueen would look stunning on that red kinetic rock. Okay, we're getting the red one out of the box.
Last nice is to just rip a little bit and then you pull it out.
Okay, cool bananas. Okay, and there's... Well, what is the treasure? We found the treasures right at the top here. What is that? Little cup or something, is it?
Yes, a cup.
Before you pull it out, let me do one thing. I know you know what it's going to be. There you go. There's the beautiful metallic McQueen on that red kinetic rock. I think it looks stunning. Maybe you think it looks naff, but I don't know. The two are like toy heaven, if you ask me. And we'll get the rest of this rock out of here. And because that's also a mould that you can make like, there you go, made a little boat there. Kinetic rock, how strange is that, hey?
The boat's gonna get wrecked. Like the Titanic did.
Yeah.
Like the Titanic did.
Yeah, the Titanic is getting ripped apart now. There's the guy holding the red mug or whatever it is. It could be a bomb. It could be anything, couldn't it? If only there were more than just one item. Anyway, let's be positive, hey? It also gets flagged for fun.
Wait.
Oh, the guy's going to sit in there. Look at that. He's got a giant... Oh, no. Okay, that's how you play with the stuff. It's quite brutal.
Well, it looks like he's bleeding.
Yeah, it's got strange tendrils from it, isn't it? Rather cool looking when it does it. And he's down in the red rock again. He's going to be chewed up. Oh, headshot, headshot. My son said a very important word in relation to this.
It's called
subject.
satisfying.
Yeah, satisfying. It's a very satisfying thing to play with. You're not getting to break apart like you do with kinetic sand. It's a little bit easier to manage because it is rocks, if that makes any sense. And what's going on there? You're going to try and jump into there, are you? There you go. The sound effects make it... Oh, look at that. Wow.
New fidget spinner.
No. 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 Well, I'll get into this one here, the silver one. Oh, yeah. Chicken's done it well. Most importantly, there is the piece of treasure. It's silver. The treasure's the same colour as the material, isn't it? It's a shovel, which makes sort of more sense to the whole mining thing. Yes, I think that's it's the same colour as what we had in the playset. And there's a little kinetic rock man holding his shovel and his bomb. So it's a bomb. And my son is now going to play with this one next. I think the gold's the most spectacular. I think that's the one you want to go for. Yeah, it's fun, fun, fun. What I've done is I've squeezed all of the kinetic rock from the playset. It actually fills up that piece completely. So you get more kinetic rock in the playset than you do when you buy these little rocks. And I'm going to come along and add this rock over here to my son's environment here. He can demold that for me.
Wait. On the pile.
Oh, on the pile, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks cool, doesn't it? It's fun to play with.
I'm going to look for fidget spinners.
Why? So my son has buried his own treasure in here, which is probably what you're going to do when you buy this product. And apparently there's a fidget spinner in here somewhere.
Oh, I see the bearing.
Why? Is all I'm going to ask. Why? I know you're not going to like this. Can I mix some kinetic sand and kinetic rock together as an experiment? Okay, okay. Ooh, welcome to how we play here, McQueen. Into the... He's in there. He's gone.
Time to fill it up.
From that, you can actually make a mould from that, turn it upside down, and you'll make something fancy, I dare say. Okay, here we go. Can't wait to see it. Ta-da! Stunning as always. I think we've seen enough of this kinetic rock. Tell me what you think about it.
I like the way that you can mix and match it with like toys.
Yes.
Toys.
I agree.
And I like the spider web like this.
I agree. It is very cool. What else?
And it holds its shape.
I agree with that as well.
Like this.
Do you think it's better than kinetic sand, or is it as good as kinetic sand?
Better than kinetic sand.
You think it's better there? Well, I have my final bit to say on this. That McQueen there in Australia, that's a $10 toy. Okay, that's a stunning toy for $10, I can tell you. If you see one, get them. This toy here, each one of these rocks cost me $10. It's probably half that price in the USA, and the same for McQueen as well. It needed more treasures in it. That's my only complaint. And I do reviews, and I do have the right to say what I like and dislike about something. This toy here, I like for the fact the box becomes part of the playset. It was a $35 toy. I'll put some of the sand back in here. You do get a nice quantity of sand in this. Yeah, once you get this working properly, that piece there, it's fun, but I think it's this here is the best fun with a kinetic rock. And we'll do one last little kinetic rock trick, okay. There we go.
And inside it is...
Oh, please no. Why? It's probably the perfect thing to finish on. I'm going to tack on a little bit to this video. As I was making the thumbnail down here, I cannot keep my eyes off this McQueen. I'm telling you now, what I've worked out with Lightning McQueens is if there's any sort of special variation of him, go and grab him, and go and grab as many as you can afford, because what I've noticed is they don't hang around for very long, and I think that one there is one of the nicest ones that I've ever seen. Now, earlier in the video, I made mention of mixing kinetic rock with kinetic sand. I've got two piles here which are equally half a tablespoon each. These are a premium product, but what's good about them is we've had this kinetic sand for some time and has not lost its goodness. It is as good as when we first bought it, even though it's all mixed up colours now. And I can only suspect that kinetic rock will do the same. My son loves the way this one clumps together. It's not as flowy, is one word I'll use for it, as kinetic sand. But I think if you ever enjoyed this product here, you're also going to enjoy this product here. And remember, I paid for all this myself. I'm not given stuff by the big toy companies, and I'll mix this up secretly because my son did not want me to do this, but I'm very curious to see what happens if you mix equal quantities together. Will we get something really, really funky, or will it be a funky fail? This style of toy, clay, whatever you want to call it, has a fantastic feel in your fingers. I think any child that plays with this enjoys the way it feels. My son loves playing with it. The rock one, well, feels like little rocks. That'd be the best way I'm saying it, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. And if you've ever played with kinetic sand, one peculiar aspect to it was that if a foreign object that wasn't kinetic sand sort of got caught up in it, somehow the kinetic sand would reject it. It was very hard to mix anything with kinetic sand. Mind you, I think I can see that the kinetic rock and the kinetic sand are talking together here. I'm starting to get a nice mix. Maybe the best way I can describe this, it feels like the best of both worlds. Maybe it's something you'd want to try yourself if you've got both of these products. What I'll do is I'll put it into the 1 tablespoon measure here, because I've got 2 half tablespoons. I should be able to fill that right up. Okay, I'm just patting it down. Even I'm having fun playing with this. I'm sure there are many adults who've played with this sort of stuff and you can't keep your hands out of it. Let me turn this over and I'll show you what I've made. There it is. It's popped out as you'd expect, and it looks nice, doesn't it? It's like, well, it's the in-between version really of kinetic sand and kinetic rock. It does meld together nicely, and I think it's a formation of the best of both worlds, a little bit of how each one of those products play. And I can pour it into the bottom of the mold of the kinetic rock packaging. I hope that makes some sense there. Okay, and I can press it down, I can form a shape out of this. And if I can keep my eyes off that beautiful McQueen there, I can upturn this and we should have a beautiful mold of the kinetic sand slash rock binded together. One of the main differences with the kinetic rock is that if you pick up a piece of it, and you'll know this with the kinetic sand, you can get it like flowing from your fingers. The kinetic rock will do it almost in ultra slow motion. It does the same style of flow, but it's a little bit, I'll just say, retarded. Be a nice word, I think. Yeah, it's got a lot of the similar play characteristics, but I'm hoping that what I've done here, with my mix of kinetic sand and kinetic rock, I've got hopefully the best of both worlds. Maybe you don't like to mix your stuff together. Oh, it's got a bit crumbly, hasn't it? Maybe I've lost some of the magic by doing that. Maybe that's why my son said to Daddy, don't mix them up. Maybe my son was right from the start. But there's absolutely one thing I'll guarantee to you, because I saw it happen with the kinetic sand, is I bet you once I take this back up to my son, I go and mix it up with the playset he's got out the back of the house now, I won't see the raw gold as we see it here. Within a week's time it'll become like a, well, purple version of kinetic rock. I might be totally wrong, my children might not turn this into purple kinetic rock, but I've seen it so often before with things like this, they can't resist the temptation to mix it all together. I'm actually curious what this product does when you try to set it on fire. That's my merry mix of kinetic sand and kinetic rock 50-50. I won't be too maniac here, but we'll just see how it goes under a bit of heat. Well, it's sort of like rock, isn't it? You can't see it jumping up in the flames. That's amazing. It does barely anything under fire. Well, after seeing that, I'm certainly giving that the big thumbs up. Now, I bet you didn't expect that, did you? Hope we learned something in that one.